My mother was always my loving mentor, and she guided me with an easy hand and was always ready to listen. When I was 4 years old, I asked my mother every day when I would be five because my older brothers were already in school and I wanted to go to kindergarten. One day while she was vacuuming, I was so bored, I decided I was going to latch onto her ankle. And instead of yelling at me, she continued vacuuming like I wasn't even there, just dragging me around the whole floor. And that's when I really learned the art of patience. Now, my mother always inspired in me and planted the seed to try new things. I went to choral group and she thought I'd be the next Barbara Streisand. I took flute lessons and I took group guitar lessons. But it's hard enough learning how to play guitar. Since I'm a lefty, everything the instructor did, I had to do backwards. That didn't last long. I went to take ceramics and I made my mother a napkin holder that consisted of my fingertips indented in the sides and also being lopsided. Every time I visited my mother, that was the centerpiece on her kitchen table. And when I saw it, it would always make me smile. And she had it on her kitchen table all her life because she knew her gal had talent. Now, I also made a vase, and I happen to have it with me, and I'll show you. This is the real deal that I made in ceramics. As you can note, it has indentations from my fingers. The base is lopsided, and also the lip of it is a little interesting. I made this the centerpiece of my dining room table at my first apartment. And when people would come over, I'd ask them, how much do you think I paid for this? Start making faces and then say, oh, I think maybe $200. And I would just laugh because I think they just didn't want to make me feel bad. Now, when it was time to go to college, my mother told me I should get my degree in education because I could always fall back on it. So that's what I did. And once I graduated college and transplanted myself to California, I realized that, there were so many teachers flooding California that they said, take a fifth year in anything, we don't care. So I decided I'm going to get my master's in psychology. So I went to San Diego State and I was going to school full time and it was fantastic. I had a studio apartment. And then I realized I needed to get a job, but I needed to get, because I didn't have any money, but I needed to get a job that would allow me to leave at 3 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays so I could go to school from 3 to 10 on those 2 days. I was able to find a job at Wang Laboratories, which turned out to be one of the first developers of a word processor. And that's when it dawned on me, aha, this is what I want to do. I want to constantly learn new technology and then teach it to others. And I really love that. And years later, I got a job at a company that developed optical character recognition, OCR. And my role at the company was to travel around with the salespeople and I would demonstrate the software. I really loved that role. And then after a few years, my boss came up to me and he said, Barbara, you're so good at this, you should be in sales. I said, oh, no. I mean, sales just frightened me. And he saw something in me that I didn't see. And he said, I'll tell you what, if you don't like sales, you can go and have your old job back. And because he left that safety net out for me, I was able to have the courage to go into sales. And I've been in sales ever since for the past 40 years. Now, when I look back on my life, I realize that if I hadn't taken the last opportunity, I would have never been ready for my next opportunity. And I know change can be very frightening, but now I embrace change as a new adventure in my life, and that's thanks to my mentors.